Hey everyone, ready for a deep dive? We're getting into something, well, pretty deep this time. Covenants.
Covenants.
Yeah, you know, those binding agreements. And you might be surprised to hear this, but they're everywhere. Not just like in church, but like all over the place.
Yeah, it's true.
So we're going to be looking at this recent talk, Covenants and Responsibilities.
Yeah, okay.
And it really got me thinking about how much our whole society runs on these promises we make, you know?
Promises. Yeah. I mean, we often think about covenants as like, I don't know, some old ritual or something.
Right.
Or like legal mumbo jumbo. But they really are part of everyday life.
Totally. Like, think about it. A judge, right? Swearing to uphold the law.
It's true.
Yeah.
That oath right there, that's a covenant.
It is.
It is a public promise, like out in the open, this is what I'm going to do.
Exactly. And it's not just judges. You've got military service, the Hippocratic Oath, firefighters.
Firefighters, oh yeah.
All these jobs, these crucial roles, they're built on this idea of, I give you my word.
It's true. We depend on it, don't we? That somebody's going to show up and do what they said they would, especially when things get tough.
It's like a trade, in a way. Like we give up a bit of, I don't know, maybe our freedom to just do whatever we want, you know?
Right, right.
But we get back security, justice, some kind of order.
Yeah.
But then that makes you think, what happens when nobody trusts those promises anymore?
Oh, man.
Like, is that what we're seeing now with, like, people not trusting institutions so much?
Yeah, that's a big question and a big worry. It seems like everybody wants fewer rules these days, more me time. And hey, I get it. Freedom's great. But it does make you wonder, what holds everything together if we don't have those shared commitments?
Right. Like, are we going too far with me first and forgetting about the us part of all this? And it's not just now, right? This whole trust thing, it's been a struggle forever, even in religion.
Absolutely.
Especially with, you know, the Abrahamic covenant. Like, that's huge E for so many religions.
It's true. And that is a perfect example right there of how a promise made ages ago,
Thousands of years.
thousands of years ago, still matters today.
Yeah.
The Abrahamic covenant, to boil it right down, it's God saying to Abraham, I'm making you a promise and it's going to last. Your family, way down the line, they're in on this too.
Yeah.
It's about inheritance, about your kids, your grandkids, all of them, inheriting something powerful.
It's legacy.
Exactly, it is.
It's almost like, you know, the sins of the father,
Yeah.
but like good stuff instead.
Right.
Blessings echoing down, wow, makes you think twice about the promises we make, right? Like maybe they last longer than we do.
It's true. It's true. It's heavy stuff, you know. And the Book of Mormon, it really digs into this whole covenant idea, like woven right into Israelite history. It's amazing.
Really?
Oh, yeah. You see Nephi, King Benjamin, even Joseph down in Egypt, all making these powerful agreements with God. So it's not just Abraham. It's like this recurring thing for them.
Like a spiritual contract almost. You do this, you get that.
Kind of, yeah.
Responsibilities, blessings, laying it all out.
Yeah. It's a powerful way to think about it.
So how does this all connect to, you know, the church today?
Yeah.
The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, I mean.
So the restoration, right, that whole period when Joseph Smith is getting the revelations, starting the church, it's all about going back to the original source, like hitting the reset button on Christianity, basically.
Back to the basics.
Exact.
But for someone who's like totally new to this,
Sure.
what was Joseph Smith even trying to restore?
Okay, so Latter-day Saints, we believe that over time, the church that Jesus Christ started, it kind of, I don't know, drifted from the original teachings. Like, imagine a masterpiece painting, but it's gotten dusty and faded. The restoration's like cleaning it up, you know, bringing back the bright colors, all the details. And Joseph Smith, through translating the Book of Mormon, he saw covenants as like essential, not some outdated thing.
Not just ritual for ritual's sake.
Right. These were vital, living agreements with God, still powerful today.
Wow. It's like we say New Testament all the time.
Right.
But I never thought about testament meaning covenant too.
Exactly.
Whoa, it's like a whole new layer to the Bible.
I know. It changes how you read it, right? And this whole covenant thing, it's all over how Latter-day Saints practice their faith. Baptism, for example.
Okay.
That's not just like a symbolic washing away. It's when you actually make a covenant with God.
A formal I'm in kind of thing.
Exactly. You're promising to follow Christ, to do your best.
And then every week with the sacrament, that's like renewing the deal.
Exactly.
Wow, it's not just going through the motions. It's like meaning it every time.
Yeah, it's about remembering those promises, trying to really live them, not just say them.
Right, walking the walk.
Exactly. And that whole journey, that's what President Nelson calls the covenant path.
I've heard that.
Your whole life, it's like a path paved with these sacred agreements leading you closer and closer to God.
That's beautiful. So it's not a checklist. It's more like
A relationship.
with God.
Yeah.
And that path, for a lot of Latter-day Saints, it leads to the temple, right?
It does. Temples are incredibly important, very sacred places. It's where you go to learn more about God's plan and to make those very personal, very serious covenants.
So it's more than just like a ceremony.
Oh, way more.
It's about really changing who you are from the inside out because of those promises you make. It's true. It's about like actually living your beliefs, not just talking about them. And that matters even if you're not, super religious.
Yeah, totally. It's about integrity, right? Like doing what you say you're going to do.
Exactly. And speaking of outward signs of like an inward commitment, the talk mentions temple garments.
Oh, right. Yeah. They're interesting because they're so personal and meaningful to, people in the church.
But like nobody else really gets them.
Right. Like they can be misunderstood. But basically, for someone who's been through the temple endowment, it's like wearing the garment, it's like a personal reminder, of what they've promised.
I get that. Like a physical reminder of something spiritual.
Exactly.
It's like a wedding ring or a tattoo that means something, or even just like a note you write to yourself.
It all comes back to needing those concrete ways to connect to, what matters to us.
That makes sense.
And speaking of connections, the church is building temples all over the world now. It's pretty amazing. They want to make sure everyone who wants to make those covenants can.
Wow. That really shows you how important this all is to them.
It does.
It's not about being exclusive. It's like everyone's invited to this, to grow, to connect with God.
It's about opportunity for everyone.
This has been amazing. We've gone from courtrooms to temples. It's incredible how we're talking about this one thing, covenants.
Right.
And it connects to so much. It's all about connection, commitment.
It is. It's the power of a promise, right? To yourself, to someone you love, to God. Those promises, they change us. They help us be better.
That's what it's all about, becoming better.
Yeah.
Well, that about wraps up our deep dive into covenants and responsibilities.
It went fast.
I know, right?
Okay.
Hopefully this got you thinking about the promises you make, big and small, and how they shape your life.
Maybe it even got you thinking about the covenants you've made and how well you're living up to them.
It's a journey, that's for sure. Thanks for coming on this journey with us.
Absolutely. It's been fun.
Until next time, keep asking questions, keep exploring, and keep diving deep.